inches, it's going to be a lot bigger and it's going to convert down to like real inches, right? If you do inches, you will get, I think, a little bit of a higher definition because everything is bigger. So when it shrinks down, it looks a little bit better. But I always do pixels. It's a little bit easier to work with. All right. So then you're going to go create. We'll go new. So here's a blank canvas. And this is the very, very beginning. Now to the right side of the screen, can y'all see my screen?
Yep.
All right, cool. You always, this is how the whole thing start off with layers, right? And you see right here, the background layer starts off as just, it's always locked and then it's white, right? If you take this back, if you take this eyeball off, just like the same eyeball that y'all see in Streamlabs or OBS, then this makes the background transparent. So now any object I have here is like having a blank background. All right. So let me lock that background back. And what I did was, I know a lot of these different, what they call them, shortcuts. Control Z will undo. All right. You see up here where it says Control Z? That's to undo. Now, if you are a Windows user, you should know that Control Z will undo pretty much anytime you type it on your computer, period. Okay. It's not just for Photoshop. All of the same shortcuts that you would use in the email or whatever else is also going to work in here. All right. So it's good to learn a lot of these shortcuts and make your life a lot easier. So I always leave the background and then I add a new layer, right? So here's going to be my original layer. And a lot of times I won't even touch the background layer. I'll let it sit. Okay. So now here's like my first layer, my first canvas. So let's make a graphic for you, Th3. You was the first one interested, right? And here's all of the different down here. On the left-hand side, we got all our different tools, okay? This first one at the top is called the selection tool. They call it the move tool now, sorry. It's called a move tool. I only ever use this one. I don't know what the artboard tool is. I can't even act like I know. But basically with this, it allows you to grab stuff, okay? But I'm not grabbing anything because there's nothing here. So you don't really need that right now. Then you have the rectangular marquee. And this allows you to kind of draw out a rectangle, and it's like gives you a chance to like outline stuff. So like if I made this rectangle, I could go edit, stroke. Where's the right stroke? No, image stroke, edit, should be stroke, should be. Oh shit.
Not available.
Oh, sorry. I got to click on the right layer. So I have to be on the right layer. Right. So now I'm here on this layer and I can even double click right here. So if I double click with the left mouse, I can go stroke. I can change the color from white to red. Maybe that doesn't work like that. Okay. I'll go up here, edit, stroke. This wasn't on my screen. I got two screens up. Pick how big you want it to be, how many pixels. Here's a color, gray, hit OK, bam. Now I have a stroke. A stroke is an outline, okay? That's all a stroke is. Now, if I want to get that square rectangle line off my screen, I can hit Control D, okay? That means to deselect, or I can right click and hit deselect, okay? So now I've just made a little rectangle basically by adding a stroke. That's one way of making a rectangle like this, okay? One way. Now I'm going to delete that because it's not important to me because it's showing you how to use that tool. Then you have, what tool is this? The magnetic lasso tool. I don't use this, so I'm not about to explain it. Then here you have the magic wand and the object selection tool. I'll show you how these work. You use these tools to erase. So let me show you an idea. So let's pick out, let me go to my desktop. I got a picture. Okay, here's an idea right here. Let me pull up a picture. So I opened up a picture, right? And here's the picture. Here's my other, you see up here, you got all your different projects going, right? They got them all saved. So I'm gonna take him out. I'm gonna take this guy out of this picture and I'm gonna drag this off of here. I'm gonna use the selection tool and drag this onto here. Okay. Now that's in my graphic. I don't need this no more. So I'm gonna close it. Okay. And what I want to do is I want to cut him out and put him on this graphic. And I have two ways of doing it. One, I can use what's called a masking tool. And here we want to go object selection. Make sure I'm on the right layer, right here, layer number one. And I'm gonna draw a line outside of him, just like this. Put a box around him, just like that. And when I do that, it's gonna automatically connect to him because it knows what I want to do. Then I'm going to hit the clipping mask. It's right here. Clipping mask. Layer mask. I think that's what they call it. Yeah, it's called a layer mask. And I hit the button. Bam. See how that works? I just took him out. All of the other stuff is still there technically, but it's highlighting what I actually want. Another way of doing that with the other tool, the magic wand, they call it the magic wand tool, is I can click anywhere in here, right? Let's click right here. Oops. Let's click that. Then I can hit the delete button and I removed it. And I can do that all over the place. Hit the delete button. Now I remove stuff. Control D, right? And I can go through and keep deleting stuff. Delete, 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 delete. This is an easy way to delete stuff if you want it, right? It depends on what you're working on though. This is hard because there's a lot of stuff in there. So this is like the long way of, deleting stuff out. I would never do this, but that's how you use that tool. That's why I pulled that out. Let me see. Then the quick selection tool honestly works. I'm just Control Z in right now to undo. The quick selection tool works really the same exact way, but it gives you more control, right? I want to zoom in right now and get closer to him. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hold the Alt button and use the roller on my mouse and scroll in, right? Then I could take the quick selection and I could scroll up a little bit, get back to the tool I want to use, which is the quick selection tool. Is this it? Yeah. And then I'm holding the Alt button and I can zoom in and I can zoom out. I can zoom in, I can zoom out. So now that I'm nice and tight, I can see him really good. I can hit this quick selection button. I hit it once and this is what it gives me. Then it allows me to move the mouse around and I can select what I actually want to bring in and what I want to take out. Now this is harder to use. I never use it because I'm not good at this. Not anymore because I don't use it anymore. But it's the same exact thing. This whole entire section is all doing the same thing. It's just three different ways of doing it. And depending on what you may be cutting out, that's how you may want to choose to go about it. For the sake of today, I'm gonna show y'all an even easier way to do all of this without having to even use those tools. So I won't harp on those tools too long. Next is the cropping tool. Once again, I don't really use the cropping tool, but very, 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 very rarely. I never need it when I'm doing anything I care about. I just don't. So it'd be better to go on YouTube if you ever need to find out, what to do with the cropping tool, because I just never need it personally. But this is how you crop out stuff. It's just like on your phone when you cropping or something like that. Let's say I only wanted to bring him, right? I could crop him and then I hit delete. Bam. Wait, did it crop? Oh, wait, you got to do it like this. Here we go. So now I'm cropping out what I actually want. And as you can see, the sides that I'm pulling on, these corners and stuff, that's where you grab. You scroll down, grab this bottom, pull it up. This is what I want to crop out. And I think I hit enter. Yeah, that's what you hit enter. Bam. All right, now I've cropped out this thing. Unfortunately, I've lost like my whole entire thing. So like I said, I don't use this tool. Let me hit Control Z. Anytime you do something, you want to go back, just hit Control Z to undo it. All right. I don't use this. Don't even know what it is. I don't use this. Don't know what it is. I know people look, there's a million things to do in here. I don't know everything, y'all. I'm not a super expert. The paintbrush tool, very, very important. if you want to get into painting. Now, I just learned a trick probably a couple weeks ago, and you guys have seen me do it, and I just started catching on to it personally. So I'm gonna leave that picture there. So I'll paint right here, right? Let's say, and this is gonna be kind of weird. Let's first let me go to the paint bucket tool. This is the paint bucket, and here are the colors. You always get two colors, right? So let's say I want to paint this bucket, this layer, the color for USC is that red, right? But now I want to paint brush over top of it. Here's the brush, right? Let's switch the color to black by hitting this little arrow key. Then if you come over here, you can actually see the brushes that you actually have. Brushes. Or you can come up here and click on the actual brushes that you actually have. Right? You can see the brushes literally in a couple of different spots. I like to use the one over here because you can just go through the list a little bit easier, right? You can always add. So Photoshop comes with like these first 5 levels of brushes. And then these last 2, I recently added myself. I went on, I forgot what website. I think I Googled different websites that you can download free Photoshop brushes. I downloaded them for free. And then there's a little process to add them into like a certain folder on your computer and they'll pop up in here. Very, very simple stuff, right? These are grunge brushes, and I'll show you what grunge brushes look like. So I'll click on this one, and it's going to give me a size, how big the brush is. Well, I know my thing is only 1600 by 1600, so I'm gonna make it 1650. And then here's the brush. When I click on it, bam, that's what this brush looks like. All right, so that's going to give you a weird type of splatter type of brush feel. I never use that. I still haven't. Once again, here's another one, number 33. This is a part of the free Dirty Ink Photoshop brush kit. I'm going to make it only 1650 because I know how big my project is. And when I do this, bam, now I get this little splatter or this little streaky type of thing. And I've used this quite a bit lately because I've been trying to learn and how to make, excuse me, different backgrounds. Okay. So that's how I do those different backgrounds. That's how I did this background. You can see it in there, right? It just gives you that definition. It's the small little things that maybe people will see it, but not really understand how it all happened, right? And it just gives it a more feel and more texture. But that's what brushes do. There are tons and literally millions of types of brushes you can buy or you can download for free. They got like lightning brushes. So let's say you wanted to use, like you wanted to get the look for fire or a lightning strike or something like that. There's brushes for all of that kind of stuff. Let me see. I don't use this stamp thing. I don't use this. History, I'm not even sure what it is. Eraser, very, very important right here, right? Because this is how we erase stuff. So let's say I wanted to erase. Don't need that up. Erase this brush, right? You can come in here, start erasing stuff. You can erase anything, okay? Let's add a logo. So I'll go open. I got a folder with logos. Let's add the Florida State logo. I find it on my computer, hit enter, and now it adds it up here. All I do is bring it down, grab my selection tool, grab the logo and drag it over, drop it. Then I close this out, right? Now I have a logo, right? If I'm sitting on the logo layer, another thing I like to do just to make things easier, if you double click where it says layer, now you can label this. So I would call this FSU logo. It helps me to stay organized. So now I know what I'm looking at in my layers, right? If I wanted to erase this logo, I could come in here and just do work, erase it, right? I want to do something. Hold on. All right, bet. I wanted to have a color behind this so y'all can kind of see this. So if I wanted to erase the, oops, that's the layer. Come up to the Florida State layer. Now I can erase the Florida State logo, right? Also, if I wanted to cut this guy out, I would do the same thing. So let me zoom in a little bit closer on him. And this is another way that people do cutouts. They just go, gotta be on the right layer. They just go around here and they start cutting him out like this. Okay. That is very difficult. and you have to one, pick the right size brush eraser, right? So you want to get the smaller eraser, you want to get close. All I'm doing is holding the Alt button and using a roller on my mouse. Now, if you don't have a roller on your mouse, you can come down here to the zoom thing. And if you click, it'll zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. Then right click, you can zoom out, zoom out. But if you just hold the Alt key and use the roller on your thing, you can go in and out. All right. Then you take the eraser and then you can just outline them. And this is how you would erase. This is how you would cut a person out. And there are times where you will want to do this, okay? Or at least do something like this to make it, make your guy or whatever you're cutting out be a cleaner cut. But once again, I'm gonna show you another hack that's even easier than having to do all of that. Okay. But if you use this object selection tool, it essentially can do the same thing. And it'll be a cleaner cut. And even if it misses, there's a way to bring back what you cut out that you didn't want to cut out. So there's a lot of different tools here. Paint bucket, I showed y'all this. The blur tool I don't use, don't know what it is. Dodge tool, I don't use it. Pen tool, I don't use it, but I've seen people use this to do cutouts. This is what the super pros do. I don't know how to do that, to be honest. And to be very, very honest, like, I don't know if you even need to. We don't need to for our level because it's just not necessary. You can get a good clean cut without using this. But I do see the pros. Like, I watch their videos sometimes. I'll be like, I don't know how they got time to sit there and do all that. Plus, you have to have a very, very steady hand in order to do it. Then you got the text tool. This is probably really, oh, see, that's probably what they're doing, man. Because I'll be like, I don't know how the heck they sit there with that mouse all day. Because your hand have to be super steady for that. Here's an important one, the text tool. Let me take him off. So now let's go back to our Florida State thing, right? So we're gonna make this a Florida State graphic. So one thing, the background, right? We're gonna call this our background. Let's delete this. We don't need that. And if you go to any of these and hit delete, they'll delete. And if you mess up, just hit Control Z and bring it back. So nothing is ever done. So let's say this is gonna be our background layer. Let's make it the same color. Oops. I messed up, and this is a mistake because I deleted or I erased some of this logo. So what I'm gonna do is, to make up for that, I'm gonna just delete it out and bring it back. I'll show y'all a couple good easy tricks. Let's just bring it back because I messed up, and I messed up so long ago. If I try to hit Control Z, I've already would have undone other stuff. So here's our logo, right? Let's say we want to make this background the same color as this red, right? Because this is the Florida State color. We're going to click on our two colors, right? And instead of coming in here trying to match that up, all we got to do is come over here and click on it. It's like a color picker, right? And now it's the same exact color. Now I can go to my background layer, which is this one, come back to my paint bucket, and I've gotten this color and this color to be exact. And then I just paint. Bam. Now we cooking, right? We cooking. We got our Florida State logo sitting right in the middle. Now we need text. Okay. Here's the text tool. When you grab the text tool, you want to you left click, and just make the box nice and big, and it's going to automatically fill up with text, right? Unfortunately for us, this is the text color, so you're not going to be able to see it. So once again, let's change the text color, and I can pick my color again. I can either have it white or I can have it gold. Let's go with that gold, right? Let's hit OK. Now, the text font right here is only 16 point. So two things with text. One, here's all of the stuff you need up here. And two, it's all right here as well, too, where it says transform. OK, and character. OK, see the same thing. Color, everything is right here. So you can work in both out of either of these two different spaces. So let's change the size. 16 ain't big enough. Let's go 60. 60 is cool to start off with. So let's highlight all of that and backspace so we can delete it. And let's just make it say Florida State. And this is my favorite font, y'all. I use it all the time. Y'all see it all the time. Probably don't even realize it's the same font. Now, I do use different ones, but this is just like my favorite. It's called Anton. Okay. You can download fonts off of shoot, this website called thefont.com. Have y'all ever heard of it?
Yeah, I've messed around with it the other day.
Okay. So here's my graphics tab on my computer. I've got Envato, which is meant for video editing. This is an important site to have called sportslogos.net. This is where I get all the logos from. Thefont.com. Beats is where I get music from. Remove image background. It's a hack I'm going to show y'all in a minute. And then I use Pinterest to come up with ideas. Okay. So I highly suggest getting all of those, having these type of resources at your disposal. But here's my text, right? So then with the text, I want to bring this box down because I'm not going to put nothing else in there. But let me just give y'all some insight. So if I just show you how these tools work here in the text folder or the text area. So now with text, we got different options. So here's my text, Florida State. Let's say I want to make it say Florida State versus USC, right? Let's do this. Then when I highlight this, now I can mess with these. This is the size of the font. This determines how much space is in between the first row and the next row. So let's go 18-point font. So let's go Florida State versus USC, and then let's type that again. Florida. Y'all like, why is it Florida State versus USC? And why is it so close like that? Well, that's because that's where we've indicated that to be right here, 18. Let's put it on auto. Oh, now that's the normal space. But even then, that's too far away. I don't want it to be right there. Let's go 6. Wait. Auto. It's supposed to be on 0. Let's go 0. Put 0 right there. Something ain't right. Auto is supposed to. I don't know why it's doing that. It's supposed to be right up underneath it. Oh, there it is. Okay. So now when you put it on auto, now it's right up underneath and it's the next row, right? That's how it's supposed to be. Now, but if I want to increase the amount of space in between these, I want to go to like 11-point font. That's supposed to be positive, not. Why is it doing that? Hold on. I'm really not sure. This is acting the fool. We will do that when I start showing people stuff. But anyway, y'all get the picture. Another thing you can do is, let's say we want this word Florida State to be spread out a little bit. So we're going to put Florida State, but we want the letter, a little bit of space in between the letters. Well, that's what this one is for, the VA. I don't know what VA stands for, but I know if I put this on, like, let's say 100, now see how the letters spread out some? Got a little space in between this little effects like that, right? Then let's say I want to do, what is this? This should be 0. I don't really know what this one is for. But anyways, I can change the color. I can change the justification. Let's say I want to make it center, right? You can do that. What other ones? These are cool to do. This is how you make the words will have a line that go through them, right? Like that. You can do, I don't know what all of these stand for. One of these is like all caps. I think it's this one. Let's take this off. And the cool thing about this, you can use multiple of these. This is like underscore, right? This one is like all caps. So I can take the underscore off. Okay, that's just, I think they call it typography or something like that. But anyways, you could do that with all of these. And then obviously you could change the font. I've added tons of different fonts to my Photoshop. And this is all to your computer too. So when you add a new font, you can use it on anywhere pretty much. You can add a bunch of cool ones. This one's called 28 Days Later. I don't know why they call it that, but so this is the only thing I want in here. Now we can make it bigger, right? You click it, you grab the selection tool. Remember we talked about how the selection tool is used to grab stuff. I can make this logo bigger, right? Just by using the selection tool, I can make it smaller. And if you just grab a corner like this, then you can move it all around, right? And it's going to stay within proportion. Now, I could do the same thing with Florida State. Computer moving a little slow. Let's just say I hit that. Let's bring this down. Let's make this a little bit bigger. Make that nice and big. Bam. right? Then let's say I do this. Now, let's say I'm like, oh, well, I want to make the words the words taller. I hold the select button or the shift button, sorry. Grab the top. Come on, computer. Grab this top box and pull up. Okay. That's how you can transform the size of the letters based off of which direction you want them to go. I can make it wider. I'm holding the shift button and I'm bringing it out wider. Okay. That's a cool thing to have. Take it back to normal. Hit and then hit enter. Now, anytime I just grab one of these and just pull without holding shift, it's going to make it bigger, but within the right proportion size. Okay. It's going to keep the same parameters. So you will never get it to be either too wide or too narrow or anything. So let's say I want to change my font back to, let's go jump. No, let's go back to answer. Let's go to freshman. Freshman is actually cool because freshman is like block letters, right? And this is basically too big. So basically it was like, hey, that space you have is too big. So I'm gonna make the font a little bit smaller now. Let's get back down. 60, that's cool. Actually, I'm gonna go to center or left justification. I don't need all this space. All I'm doing is just grabbing and moving the stuff. Nothing really major. Make it fit. Grab the selection tool again. I'm just making it the right size. All right. Now here we go. We got Florida State. Enter. We good. We got a little logo right here. The cool thing about this version of Photoshop is they will help you get things evened up with those little pink lines. Those pink lines help you a lot in terms of making sure things are even on the screen. So I think that middle pink line that you see is the very middle of the whole entire document. So they do assist you with that, which is very, very helpful. That's all the next tool, probably the most important tool. I use this so much that it's just ridiculous. It's called the shape tool. Y'all see me do this all the time in my graphics, right? Here's the shape tool. I made a rectangle. Unfortunately, I made it the same color. So I'll come up here and change the color to gold. I can add, excuse me, an outline if I want to. Right? Because here's the outline, here's the number of pixels. Let's make the pixels 10. And let's make the outline color, instead of making it straight black, I want to make it this black. And I believe that that's already this. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to come here and use the color picker to make sure I match it up perfectly. And then I'm going to hit OK. Then I'm going to hit selection tool again. And then I'm wondering where did my stroke go? We'll come back to the selection tool. Oh, it didn't save. So we're going to go 10 again. Sorry. Then the color. I'm going to pick the color first. Oh, the color is already in there. The color is right here. So hit OK. Want to make sure it's on 10 and hit enter. Now, there it is right there. See the color? There's our stroke. Okay. So you can do this with any shape. You got rectangles, you got circles, you got the polygon, you have line tools. I've used a line tool. Let me show you where I use a line tool at. Right here. This could be a line tool just right here. Okay. But the square tool, I use it all the time. Now, one thing is you can see the outline, you can see the outline right here, but you can't see it really on this side, which is fine. Because with a graphic like this, I wouldn't even want the outside line to be seen. I would just pull that off the screen because that don't matter. Hit enter. So now all you see is these two lines, right? Simple. This is I'm giving y'all a very, very basic. And then that's all the tools that I use. Those are the basic tools. Text, how to add, logo. You got text, how to paint, how to use a paintbrush. If you want to get into something kind of cool, like this stuff, like these textures and stuff, that's another level. And I'll show y'all some stuff. So let's just say we want to do a background, and let's say we want to add a stadium, because y'all probably see me do stuff like this, right? Like, how do you add this stadium in the background? Well, it's actually pretty easy. So let's come back into the layers, and then we click right here where it says add layer. And we're going to add a layer. We're going to go search for a photo. So technically, let's go look. I'm gonna go back to my internet and I'm gonna search. What's the name of the stadium? Is it Doak Campbell?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, as soon as I type in Doak, it popped up. And I'm gonna go images. I spend a lot of time on YouTube, and I'm gonna look for a stadium picture that's gonna look cool. What would look cool in my graph? Oh, this is actually kind of dope, but nobody would know what that is, so I wouldn't use that one. Not really. Let me see. It's not bad. No, you see one?
That's what I was looking at is Chief Osceola.
All right, let's do that. Let's go. FSU mascot. Shit, I can't type. FSU mascot. Let's I always click on images. All right, bet. Okay, cool. Let's find a good one. Which one should I use?
Every pregame he plants that spear at the center field logo and the horse rears up like that.
This would be good, but this picture is too busy. You see all these people in the background? It's too busy. Yeah. I would never use this one. Plus, I don't like the shape of it. It tells you right here, 840 by 1145. We know that our image is 1600 by 1600. So if in a perfect world, I would find a picture that's bigger than our image, because making it smaller will only enhance the he fell off that day. Oh shit, he fell. Oh, that's a good one for me to use if I ever beat you. I'm gonna put that one on there. But this is kind of dope right here. This is a good one, except for they got a fucking mug shot of it. Okay, wait, hold on. This was a good one. What size is this? 720 by 405. See, anytime you do this, you want to just try to find a picture that works really good. Let me see. Oh, this is good. Watch this. All right, so we're gonna go save image as. You got to find a place on your computer to keep everything organized. I'm just put this on my desktop because it's not something I need to have later on down the line. Now I'm gonna go File, Open, Desktop, because that's where I just saved it to. Bam, Enter. Now I can tell it's big, perfect. Finding it bigger than my actual stuff means I know it's gonna be great definition. If you find anything that's too small, and when you make it bigger, it's gonna stretch out and it's gonna look stupid. All right. So at this point, I'm gonna take the text and stuff out. I'll leave that in there. But I want to take that stuff out. I just want to have dude in here just so I can focus in on what we need to do. So what we want to do with this guy, make him a little bit bigger. I'm not losing much quality. I'm not gonna lose no quality at all. That's still pretty good quality. Oh yeah, it's still good quality. Oh, this is gonna be dope. Okay. Oh, we're about to go crazy. All right, bet. So we got him sitting there right there. It's a good picture of him and his horse. Now, this is gonna be. Now I'm gonna start to move these layers around and make sure I keep everything organized. Right? What was this layer? Ain't nothing really here. I can delete that. I move stuff that I don't need to keep. Move Florida State to the top. All right, bet. Now let's add the logo back. Our logo gonna sit right in the middle. Now, in a perfect world, Champ, I think I seen you make a graphic once. I'm gonna give you some feedback. I would never release a graphic like this because it's too busy. Okay, if you got a lot of colors going on, like right here, it's so busy that you can't really tell what's going on. Like it's too much. So like this one, you see how I got a stadium in the background, but it's kind of like in the background. It's not too much. But if I wouldn't have put all of these masks over it, here's the background right here, but I got two layers sitting on top of it. Look at what this would have looked like had I not put those layers on top of it. You see the difference? So you try to make it a little bit more subtle. Okay. Now the focus is on this coach, the word hired, and the logo, right? Which is more important than the background. Backgrounds are just what they are, backgrounds. You shouldn't really notice them. They should be subtle and complement whatever the feature the graphic is. So here I would do the same thing. I really want to highlight this logo, not this guy. He's cool, right? But he's not the star of the show. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a layer on top of him, and I'm gonna paint it all black. Paint bucket black. Oops, nope. Pick the right layer, the open layer, right? I'm gonna go black. Oh, you can't see him. Cool, perfect. Now, the key to this is to use these different filters. These are all filters, right? I can go multiply, and I don't know what every filter is gonna do on every photo. So I just sit here and go through them. Like, what kind of feel is it gonna give me? Oh, this is good. Hard light. That ain't bad. Oh, this is fire. I like this. Is that luminosity? Oh, that's called color. I kind of like this because now it gives you the black and white feel, right? I got a black and white thing going on. Actually, that's too much. Let's go back to where's that one? Hard light. Yeah, I like hard light. Let's go to hard light. Okay. So now he's truly in the background and not making up too much noise. But let's say I didn't want that to cover up the bottom. I'm going to hold shift because I'm on this layer. I'm going to pull that layer up. Okay. This is that black layer. I don't want it to cover all of this. I just want it to cover to this. Hit shift. Now we still got this down here, right? Now, if we don't want that effect to be as strong, we can come down to the opacity and drop it. And this basically is going to lighten up that dark layer. So now the dark layer is like almost not even there. Oh, let's make it stronger and stronger and stronger. And you just got to work with your opacities, right? Now let's say, that's cool, but can I make that even better? Sure, why not? Let's say and I'll show you how 2 ways to do it. So one, I can add another layer on top. And let's say I want to add that red. And let's paint over top of that with red. Cool. Let's do the same thing again. Let's do a different one now. Darken. I'm just gonna go through the list and see what look cool. Oh, that's kind of fire. Color dodge. And I play with these all the time just to see what kind of effect I will get. No, that ain't that cool. Where's color dodge? That was the only one I kind of liked. All right, cool. Let's go color dodge. Now, think about if I took these off. Oh, let me bring this up again because I don't really want to keep that. I don't want it to affect the very bottom. So now, let's say I took these off. You see the difference? Now we're taking the emphasis off of here, off of this guy. But I still don't really like it. I'm gonna switch these. I like it to be darker. I don't want this to. He's still too much for me. That's my preference, though.
I thought that black and white earlier looked pretty dope.
Oh, you like the? Okay, let's try that. I think it was this. This is actually fire to me. I like this actually. All right, cool. And then this is basically, they call it color. That's just a filter, y'all. That's all it is a filter. I still got this going on in the background. I can take it. I'm taking it off because I like it to be a little bit darker. I don't need this layer right now. I can always come back to it. Then, okay, I know this is going to be the background. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this layer and I'm going to hold the shift key and I'm going to come down here and I'm going to combine all of these layers and I'm going to hit this little folder button. And now I'm going to group it all together and call it background. You can do that at any time too. Spell that right? I hope I did. Now it cleans up my stuff a little bit. I can turn it on and off. And it makes things easier to keep up with, right? Instead of having 1,000 layers that's just helter skelter, right? We don't need this no more. I'm gonna delete it. So I don't know where I was going with this idea. I was just kind of freestyling some stuff. I don't like that font still. Oh, I know where I was gonna go. So here's this rectangle. Let's move it behind The Florida State sign. Oh, this is kind of fire. Bet I like that actually. I'm just thinking of stuff, y'all. At this point, let's say I didn't want that the outline, right? I have to click on the rectangle tool, come back up here to where the outline is, and here's how many pixels it is. Here's 0. Enter. Now it's gone. Okay. Now it kind of look cool. I got a little stripe going behind it. But one thing I don't like how I want this whole thing to be filled. So I'm gonna come down here.
I check. Okay, got it.
You got questions? If y'all got questions, feel free.
No. I was trying to see what my voice was coming out of.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I'm following.
Let me see. I'm gonna come back to this dude. I'm kind of frustrated because I really want to keep him here. Let me see if I can get away with doing this without making. Yeah, see, look. Now he distorted a little bit. I'm making him look bad. That's fine, right? We go back to it. Actually, I can hit Control Z. Make sure it's the same. Oops. No. Go back. Oops. No. Selection tool. Let me click back on that layer because I want to control him. I'm just gonna grab this and pull it down. That's cool. Without holding shift. So now we're gonna do that. Oops. I don't want to move this layer. So it's another issue that you have sometimes. So when that's happening, come here and lock the layer so that you don't grab it. Okay. Lock these layers. I don't want these to move. I just want to move him. I don't want to move any of my paint layers. I just want to move him. Actually, we cooking. We cooking now. That look a little bit better, don't it? Now I got him centered. I'm big on stuff being like centered and asymmetrical. I like it to make sense, but that's me. Everybody's style is different. You will come up with your own. Like I like his face being lined up with this guy. This makes sense to me, but he's still a little bit too prominent for me. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add another layer, and I'm gonna put another actual black on top. See, that's not even this initial layer wasn't truly black. It was close, but not. It was this black. So I'm gonna come here. I'm gonna add straight jet black, and I'm gonna do that again. What else can I find? Let me see. Anything else good? Anything else good in here? And if not, that's fine. I'll leave it on normal and just lower the opacity. Bet. Wait. Try and get this all even. That's even. It's just the one that's not. Something is off. You can see down here. I wonder what that is. Hold on. Is it this picture? Oh, it's him. All right, bet. So I'm gonna lock him, right? Add all of these back. This one ain't important. I don't need it no more. But I'm just trying not to make him stand out too much. Okay, that's what my goal is here. Now, what can we add that would be dope? Make sure it's right in the middle. Don't it say Florida State somewhere here? Yeah, it does. I hate this font. It's trash.
Is there a way to like copy font off of the internet and use it in here?
You have to find it like on that website, like thefont.com. So you have to, it has to be a real font, but you can't like just, you have to find it on the website.
I got you. I didn't know if there was a way to copy like the Florida State logo font.
No, but that's something I would Google. So this is what I would do. And I do this all the time. This is how I found Anton because I know it's Ohio State's logo font, right? Or what the one that they use when they print Ohio State a lot. So I would do Florida State logo font. Bam, there it is. What's it called? Adobe, Garamond, and Acumen. The university uses two official fonts, Adobe, Garamond, and Acumen, which while use of these type of okay, people ask. Let's see if I have it. What's it called? Adobe, Garamond, or Acumen? Let's look to see if we got that already. Garamond. Do I have Garamond? These are all in alphabetical order. I don't have Garamond. What about Acumen? Ooh, this is supposed to be Acumen. I don't look like Acumen. Okay, well, let's keep looking for it. Let's go to what's that? Defont.com. It's the site I use. And I will search for Acumen. Is that how you spell it? Or is it IN? Yes, IN. All right. Anybody got it? Sometimes you got to pay for them, and I ain't paying for shit.
Hell no.
No, I look like they don't have it on here for free. What about what's the other one called? I'm just gonna copy it. I'm tripping. Adobe Garamond. I hit Control C. I come here and I hit Control V. And I hit enter. Look like they don't have it either. Adobe Garamond Pro. Wait a minute. What does this mean? I ain't paying you. Nah, y'all good. They trying to get me to pay. No, we ain't doing that. Not tonight.
Hell no.
Okay. Yeah, they trying to get me to pay for it. So no. But that's a great question because I do this. I've also by doing that, I've also found Oregon's font. And I think I have theirs. What is it called? Here it is. NCAA Oregon Ducks.
No joke.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't look
wow.
I mean, you can find them sometimes. But let me see. I have one that Miami, yeah, they might. You just gotta look for them. Where's that one I always use? Shit, what's it called? No, it's called American Captain. Yeah. Yeah, I use this one quite a bit. Let me blow these letters in. I don't like this. No, that's not it. It's this one. I don't like having mine on these. I always bring my letters in normal. Not always. It just depends. So, Florida State. This might be closer than the anti one. So let's just use this for now, right? And then let's get crazy. We're about to act a fool a little bit. Let's make that nice and big. Bring it down here. Florida State. There's a reason why I want this to be dark because I want to highlight more important stuff. So let's play with the text. Let me give y'all some gas. Double click right here. Now we got the layer styles, right? Bevel emboss, probably my favorite thing to use. And it gives you that 3D type of look. You see what happened as soon as I hit this button? How it went from being flat to kind of having that little bubble feel to it, right? And then we can add a stroke to it. Now we're starting to add some juice. When you click on stroke, now I can control how big the stroke is, right? Let's just go like 1 or 2. Now let's add color overlay is important for like if you want to change the color of this. Anytime you use color overlay, it's going to change the color of the whole entire thing. And let's say we want to use this color. Oh yeah, let's go stupid. I'm finna get. I like this color actually. Stay with the gold. And then let's go to outer glow. I use glow all the time. I overuse glow. I use glow too much. I'm addicted. Not gonna lie. But you can play with the different settings or how you want it set up. If you want it to go a lot, you can go like that. Me personally, I think just want to catch a nice little feel for what it. I play with these a lot just to. You want it to accent correctly. That's pretty solid. Yeah, that ain't bad. Drop shadow. You can't really see a drop shadow on this one, but you would see it down here. Let me see if I can make it a little bit more pronounced. There it is. You see it? The drop shadow down here. Spread. You see a little bit more. It's a dark background, so it's kind of hard to see. If that background was light, you see it a lot easier. I don't use inner shadow very much or inner glow. I don't use these. It never really make much sense for me. So now we're going to do this, right? Now we cooking a little bit. If show y'all a trick. You see how I got this texture looking stuff right here? Like I look like a carpet. Give y'all a little trick. So we go to the Florida State, right? Let's add a new layer. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Add another layer on top. Let's make that layer the same exact color. Let's paint another gold layer. Let's find our gold. I'm using a color picker all the time because I can go pick whatever color I want. Keep the whole thing consistent. I'm a paint. Now that layer is sitting on top of this one, right? If I hold down the Alt button and I put my mouse over this little crease and then hit the left click, bam. What you don't know that I just did is, I'm turn off the color overlay, is that layer is now sitting on top of this Florida State sign. Let me change the color of it just so you can really see what I'm talking about. I'm going to change it to this red. Watch me change this layer right here to red and watch what happens. Bam. Because this layer is now sitting inside of this. Okay. Now, I'm still on this layer and I'm going to go to filters. Camera raw filter. It's going to change our life right here. Wait for it. Now, y'all see me use this one a lot. I use it too much. I'll be honest. Grain. Y'all see that little grainy feel? That is the same thing I can't move it. But I got the same thing in that other one. Then the vignetting. You can give it that little feel, that little movie feel, right? Where you got the outside's dark and it's like a spotlight kind of thing, right? You pick what level you want to go to. You ain't got to go all the way to this level. That ain't necessary. But you fill it out for what you may want. I want this a little vignetting, nothing crazy. And I'm not looking at the numbers as much as I am holding this and kind of just looking at the whole thing. If you go vignetting the opposite way, you get the opposite effect. I rarely do that. This is not nothing I ever need. But I'm going to go about right here where I can see a little bit of darkness, right? I just happen to look in the number. It's still the same, right? I'm going to hit OK. Now you see, look at that Florida State. Is that not fire? You just added your own texture to the word Florida State now. That's how I do it, y'all. But here's the trick part about this. So let's say you want to move the word Florida State up here. You can't just move it, right? Well, I picked the wrong layer. First, I need to lock this layer because it covers the whole thing. It doesn't matter. I can move this layer now. Now I can move the Florida State sign because all I did was move Florida State. I didn't move the red layer. The red layer is covering the whole thing anyways. So now let's say I want to move it up here. Now I can do that, right? I'll leave it down here. But chill. But now I added all this texture to it. I can add that type of texture to anything. And that's the same thing I did here. I'm not going to lie, y'all. When I started making this, I literally had no idea what I was going to do. I just started drawing and seeing what happened. And it just kind of morphed. It was just morphing as I was just going. But I could do the same thing with this, right? Let's say I wanted to. Here's that layer right here. Here's the rectangle, right? I don't need background. Here's the rectangle. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to add a layer on top. I'm going to go paint. And I'm going to use the same color. Bam. And then I'm going to hold. Now, I'm going to change the filter on it first. Now, here's the cool thing about camera raw filter. I can either come back here and click camera raw filter, or if I want to use the same exact filter I used on the last one, then you can come up here and click this one. That's the difference. Okay. Anytime you're using a filter, only click this one if you want to use the same exact filter you used on your last filter. And in this case, I'll do that because that's what I want, right? Oh, this is kind of fire. Got a texture back there. This could be a whole background. Hold on, I like this better than the look. Hold on. Y'all got me interested in something now. Because I kind of like this better than that guy. So I'm gonna put him over and put that over here. I'm gonna change the opacity. How about nah? Oh, let's keep that like it is. All right. I'm not gonna change it. I change stuff a lot. Oh wait, I put that shit in the wrong spot. I went to the wrong spot. It's supposed to go right. No, it's supposed to go right here. Okay. So back to what I was doing. So does it go over there? Yeah. So that layer is sitting right here. Actually, it was. Wait. Is it this layer? I shouldn't have did that. Now I got myself confused. How come I don't see this? Oh, the opacity. Oh, that's right. I was about to say. Okay. So here we go. So here's this layer sitting on top of that rectangle thing. I'm gonna do the same thing. Hold Alt, but you have to have the mouse sitting on top of that little line right there, right? And then you click the button, and then bam, here it is, right here. That's how you add texture to these. Okay, that grainy texture. There's tons of different types of textures, but that's how you add the grainy texture. You can do that, y'all, with anything. I could put that same type of texture over top of this logo if I wanted to. It doesn't matter. But that's just one little thing I learned once, and I can't stop doing it. Let me give y'all another hack. So sometimes y'all see me use those photos, right? Y'all see me ever pull out them photos after the end of the game? After the game was over, I'm taking pictures and stuff. I'll show y'all how I'm doing that. I'm doing that using this program, my 4K capture, right? This is Elgato, the 4K capture. And I'm sitting here, and after the game is over, y'all see me putting those players up, and then I hit this screen capture button, take screenshot, take screenshot. And what that's giving me are these players that's saved on my computer. Let me see, graphics, leagues, Premiere, Carolina, game day photos, 2018 season. That's all of these photos right here. Let's take this one, and I'll open it. Now, real quickly, let's go back to the filters. Camera raw filter. I'm not adding grain to this because that would look stupid. Actually, it looks cool sometimes when you do it, but you don't need that for this. This is how people get photoshopped, y'all. You ever see people talk about getting photoshopped? This is how you start doing it. Go to basic, texture. And this works really good for these guys because it's like a cartoon. And you start to make them look more realistic. Look what happens when I add texture. You see how his muscles start to come out? Look what happens when you lower texture. You make everything more flat. Look how much more crisp it all gets. You play with these and you'll see the differences. Oh, okay. A little more definition. Now let's add clarity. More clarity, but it kind of darkens things up a little bit. So you kind of got to be careful. I never go this way. I always add some level. I may not go all the way here because it starts to wash everything out a little bit, but I may come here. Then I skip dehaze because dehaze, I think, I never use dehaze. May not be bad though. I just never use it. Can I just come here? Hit 0. Vibrance is going to just determine how thick the color is or how deep the color is. See that Carolina blue and how blue is getting versus now it's washed out. So I always add a little bit of vibrance. Saturation is very, very similar to vibrance. How deep do you want the color to get? And then I come up here, I do blacks. You can either go this way, you can go this way. And I'm eyeballing this. This is my eyeball, just seeing what I want, how I want the player to look. And then highlights. Do I use highlights? I don't use highlights. That's not one I use. But exposure. This is one I'll use. It's just going to lighten it up or either darken. I usually lighten them up just a little bit. Either 0.4, somewhere between 0.3 and 0.5. For me, that's plenty for me. Then, in comparison to that guy, y'all see the difference in definition between this one and this one? It's a big difference, right? So now, I mean, you can see the blues. Look at the blue. The blue look a little bit washed in this one. Now it's a little bit more vibrant. You can see dude muscle. You can see his veins popping out right here. Wait, it's better. You can see it a little bit. The side by side, you can see a little bit better. Okay, that's a little bit better. But yeah, you can see his vein popping out right here. You can't see it as well over here. The face mask, this face mask is glassy. You definitely can't see his eyes in either of them. But now, I mean, this is way more defined. So that's the reason why we use this. We hit OK, and you get the updated photo here. I pull that down, and now I add him to my thing, right? Now, actually, no. Let's put him back there. I'm gonna get into some real gangster stuff. So now that we've already photoshopped him, let's resave him, hit save, right? Now, I'm gonna show y'all this website. This is how you should cut out players. Don't do those tools that I told you. Use this website called remove.bg. Upload image. Team graphic. I gotta find that folder. Game day photos. Where's that one at? This is it right here. And it's the updated one. I could tell because it looked better. I already photoshopped him. And now look at it's a perfect cut. So if y'all ever get the opportunity to do these, you want to use this as much as you can if you're going to cut out players like this, because it's a perfect cut. And how much time did that take me? 3 seconds. It took me no time, right? If I have a player that I'm cutting out, let me go back to this real quick. Let's go open. I know, because I do this a lot, that the easiest players to get the best cuts on are players with nothing in the background or very little activity in the background. This kind of photo right here is not good to use that remove.bg, because what's considered a background? It's too much shit going on, right? So when I'm taking photos after these games, I'm purposely taking photos where it's one player that I know that this website will cut out easily. And you can see, look how many of them I do. It's consistent. I'm consistent with this. I'm purposely looking for these type of shots, this type of shot. And you're gonna see this show up in my little graphics that I do all the time. It's always a shot like this, because I know that website can cut them out very, very easily. So then I'm gonna go back to remove.bg. I'm gonna hit download. I'm gonna download them just to my desktop. Make it easy. Come back in here. I don't even need you no more. He perfect. Now, there's a chance that sometimes when you use that website, it won't be perfect. They may still have some stuff going on in the background. And in the event that they did, as long as I'm on that layer, I would just go to my eraser and I would just erase something. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes they may make a mistake. Like even if you look really closely, look like they may have chopped off a piece of his face mask. And you may just have to suffer that casualty if you use that website. But realistically, I'm not a sloppy person when it comes to this stuff, but you would never know it because you can't see it that good. All right. I'm going to blow him up. If I was to do this, and I would make sure I put him in the right spot. So he need to be up underneath the Florida State logo or whatever, wherever you want to put him. If this was a Florida State player, right? Or I would just move the logo up. Maybe whatever you got to do. Oh, shit. Whatever you got to do to make it all work. Oh, shit. That layer needs to lock. It is locked. No, it's not. I'll lock that because I don't want that to move. Right? Let's see. I want to do that. I want to make this player work, make him fit in there perfectly. Bam. This is how I do everything I do, y'all. I've shown y'all pretty much all the stuff. I got more tools, but I gave y'all the basics plus some. But let me go straight to here's some YouTube channels. Hold on. And I got multiple screens. That's why you see me kind of doing. I got dual monitors. And if you don't use tab browsing, this speed dial thing, I would highly suggest it. It make your life easier. Gaming. I got all my stuff here set up. Everything even. This is my life stuff. Hold on. What am I looking for? Streaming. YouTube. Okay. All right. So let's go to. I wonder why I'm the Lions Den TV. It's because of this. I love watching lion videos all day long. Let me see.
I was just waiting on a Big Booty Latinas clip to come up.
No, man. We ain't got that stuff. I'm not putting out. I don't put none.
Nah, Fader out. That's why I don't pull up my screen.
Hey, bruh, that stuff will never hit my computer. I'm not messing up my computer with that stuff. Phone, I don't care. Computer, no, we ain't doing it. Okay. All right. So now let's go to here's a channel. I want to make sure y'all get this. If y'all on y'all computer, bro, keep this damn. This dude right here, Sports Design School. So literally, probably a good portion of the stuff I showed y'all today. And the only reason why I wasn't subscribed is because you see me switch over to Lions Den TV. And I'm not subscribed to him underneath that name. But this is my other account. This is my personal account for YouTube. But this is the best one to be on, y'all. This dude literally does sports stuff, sports graphics all day. This is how I really got into this. This one that says how to design like Ohio State. When I got to Maine, this is the one I used. This is the I learned how to make this, and he literally walks you through each step by step, and it's easy. Like, you don't even have to be good at Photoshop, and you guys can do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, and how to make this world like this is dope, bro. It look like he's standing on the word field, right? And I know how to do that now. I know that I could take this Florida State right here, come right here, hit edit, and go to which one is it? Perspective, warp. I can hit OK, and then I can use this tool. Oh, shoot, is it perspective warp? No. Oh, I'm not on the right thing. Sorry. Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. Hit enter. Control Z, Control Z. Making sure I mess nothing up. Where's that Florida State sign? Is this it? What is going on? All right. It's perspective warp. I've done that. Why is it doing that though? Here we go again with this. But anyways, I know how to do that, and I can make this Florida State sign do the same thing. It's just a warp. There it is. But this is how you use these kind of things. This is dope. Like, I don't do all of this. I don't know why I don't, though. Oh my gosh. I could do so much more than what I do. Oh, wait, I think you gotta hold like Alt or Control, pull down in the corner. But anyways, you see what I'm saying, though? But this is how I learned like all of this goofy stuff. Just by watching this dude's channel. He dope. Design Like Ohio State was one of the first ones I learned. He's got a bunch. Sid did one. Because he did one for the Heisman. Where is it at? Yeah, Design Like Alabama. This is a good one. I've never done this. I should have. I got a bunch of Heismans. I never did it before though. The Easy Gold Drip Effect. I never released this one, but I did it. Let me see if I still got that. But I had to pay for it. They had to pay for like this little program inside of phone. I think I paid like $10, but it gave me the ability to do that. Where is it at? I'm gonna show y'all. It was fly as hell too. But I never even posted it. Don't know why. I paid $10 for no reason. I've blown money on less on dumber stuff, so whatever. Where are we at? Sorry, y'all. I reorganized this shit. And at some point, it may get so much. You just got so much shit. Here it is. That's the Photoshop one. Let me see if it's final. No, not that. Game previews. No, not here. No. Is it in here? Here it is. Here was my final one. This was my running back when I was at Ohio State. His name was Kevin Duncan. We called him KD. And I made him go, bro. And it's crazy because you hit the button, you sit there, and they literally like the computer system like drips the dude and go. It's crazy. You sit there for like 5 minutes.
That's
Like
dope.
there's no coloring or nothing like that. It's literally a couple buttons that you got to click, but it's fire. Like you can do all kind of crazy stuff. But anyways, that's where I got that idea. I never even actually released that. I'll do it again one day. But this design school is really cool. I highly recommend it. Is there another one? That stream. That's a different one. Let me go back to my other account. But y'all, these resources are very. Oops, that's not it. I'm tripping.
I wonder if he's got like a design like Florida State video.
Okay. And subscribe to everybody on YouTube. Let me see. I had just sports Photoshop tutorials. Here's another one. I subscribed here. Once again, they show you how to do a lot of these. Now, sometimes they don't really show you all of the steps, but they'll give you at least some good ideas and show you how to do different things. There's so much stuff, y'all, that you can learn. But YouTube is your best friend when it comes to this stuff. Just because, I mean, and YouTube never shows you to use this. They'll show you how to actually cut this dude, but that shit take too long. Time is of the essence, right? And I got a perfect cut here without having to do it myself. You see what I'm saying? So, but that's how, I mean, that's pretty much how I do stuff. These shape tools are important. This is how we made the Earn It logo. The Earn It Premiere logo. Sorry, not the Earn It logo. I'll show y'all that right quick. Me and Chris made that up. Let me see. Open Gamers Lounge graphics.
I'm not gonna lie, this speed dial thing is
Premiere lead graphics. Premiere background commentators overlay.
What'd you say, Corey?
Premiere.
now the speed
What?
dial thing that Wade has. I installed it, dude. This thing
Yep,
is
here it is.
shit.
So, Chris did the final, not me. Okay, this is actually his work. Oh, well, this is it though. But anyways, I mean, you got because this is all a picture, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So we hacked the actual real Earn It logo to get the word Earn It because we don't have the Earn It text. I should get it from Phil. He don't even have it. But if you ever get a logo made, make sure they give you all of the parts to it because he don't have his own text. And then the Premiere is actual real text. I forgot what font is that. This is the myriad variable concept, and I guarantee you they're using what's that? This to make the letter stretch out. Remember, I showed y'all this. I was on 410. That's even higher than this 200. Or if you put on 0, now you get the letters all close. So this is why I said sometimes you're gonna want to do this, right? The back on 410. Because we need 4,410. Because here you need the letters to be stretched out. Like that's the point of the logo. Then I made this. This is my creation technically. Because I knew that this was our Earn It logo. It's the E. Well, you can make a P, and we basically made, show you how I made this P. I took this E and I just flipped it and added a bar. Show y'all. And this is where you will learn learning how to use these different tools, you'll learn how to do stuff like this. So watch this. Wait, Hollywood. This is where. Here's the actual Earn It Main Dynasty logo that Phil got when he paid Martin for the product. Right? Here's the actual real logo. And all I did was to make that Premiere logo, I'll do it all right here. First off, we don't need this. This is a quick way of deleting. Won't need you. Oh, you ain't gonna delete? Well, that's what we on tonight? Oh, you just not gonna delete. Okay. Background eraser. A background eraser is really good to have because this is how you delete certain things too. Like I can delete that. I can delete that. It's an easy way to delete. But here's another way to delete. Put a square. Oops. And then hit the delete button. Why didn't that work? Okay, there it is. Okay, so I don't need those words. Okay, and I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna take the background eraser again. I'm gonna delete that because I don't need that, right? That's not important. Oops, Control D. Bam. So here's the Earn It logo. I just need the E. Now, how I'll make a P? How I'll make it into where's the P at? Well, first, I need two of these because I need one, I need the E, and I need another one for the P. So I'm gonna hold when I'm clicking on the layer, I'm gonna hold Alt and hit down, and now I made a copy of it. Now I got two of these, right? All right, bet. Well, now I'm gonna hold the Shift key and I'll start to turn it because I need a P. If you hold Shift, it turns in perfect 15-degree dimensions. If you don't hold the Shift key, then it'll turn, but it won't be in perfect dimensions and you could be off. So here's our P, right? That's part of it, right? I'm on to something. I need the little line that comes down here. So I'm gonna go to my rectangle tool, which is cool, right? And then what color is it? Let's make it be black. Let's use the rectangle tool. Bam. There it is. Well, there's our P. It's a nice straight line. Please connect it. And now we have an Earn It Premiere logo. Simple. I'm bring it up right here. A little too long, right? Let me reference the old one. Oh, the whole thing is black. The whole E and the P are black. Okay, cool. So I'll come here. It was about like right here, something like that. Bam. Now it's connected. The only difference is I can see this is a little bit wider. So I'm gonna go ahead and hold the Shift key and pull this out just a little bit and try to even it up. Now, if I want to be perfect, which I do want to be, because I never want to not be, I'm gonna zoom all the way in and kind of count the pixels. How many pixels? Is that about even? Well, if I can't count the pixels, I don't know why I can't, but it's not showing me. And this might be kind of like the dumb way of doing this. But I'm gonna hold the Shift key. Come on, bro. Here it is. I'm gonna do that. And I'm gonna make sure it's perfectly even, right? We'll zoom in on it. Oh, okay. I see it's not even. This black one is not quite as thick. So I'm gonna hold the Shift key again. I'm gonna pull down to make sure it's even. Oh, now we cook. Enter. I'm gonna back out. I'm gonna flip that mug back around. We Gucci. It's the same size now. Bam. That's how we made the Earn It Premiere logo. Oops, I'm tripping. Now, how do I change this color? Well, because this is a picture, only thing I could do to change this is to paint over it, which is gonna be real easy because it's only this. So, oops, it's not the right color. I'm gonna go Control D or Z to undo that because one thing you don't want to do, like when you're trying to when you manipulating, because this is called manipulating somebody else's artwork. You don't want to paint over top of it too many times. You want to do one and then maybe two to get that little black line out of there that was there. Now I'm done. Because if I keep hitting this paint button, everything is going to get bigger and it's going to blow up. Okay. You don't want that right now. My computer trying to catch up. I'm using too many resources. Probably put some strength in this. But I'm going to go Control Z about 5-10 times to get back. Okay. Now that's cool. I didn't want to do that. All right. So now this is exactly how we made the Earn It logo. Then bam, the Premiere logo. Then I'm gonna change. I'll make sure I'm on the right layer. This one. Color that. Color this. Oops. Control. Right layer. I was on the wrong layer. Bam. Actually, before I do that, Control Z. Let's make sure I get that color. So let's say I want to pick this color. Pick it. Hit OK. Because I'm gonna use it for these. And I'm gonna color this, bam, color that, bam. I think that's what we did in real life. Oops. Still not on the right layer, huh? Come back to this layer and make it black. And I think that's how we made it. Yep. Oh, it was white actually, right? Okay, let's make it right. We ain't gonna cheat. So let's go here, make that white, click on this layer, make that white. Nah, we still missing that little circle, ain't we? That's cool. Go to the ellipse tool, which is the circle. Bam. These usually come out pretty close to perfect circles, but you want to eyeball it. I really don't know what a perfect circle is going to be, but you want it to be underneath everything. Oops. I made a second one. You don't want to do that. Once you make the first one, go hit your selection tool. Now you can grab it. Now it's the wrong color, which is